You said a man is not a necessity, a man is a luxury.
Like dessert. Yeah. A man is absolutely not a necessity.
Did you mean that to sound mean and bitter?
Oh, not at all. I adore dessert. I love men. I think men are the coolest. But you don't really need them to live.
Everyone falls in love sometimes.
Welcome to part 3 of my Divine Feminine Energy series here on YouTube. So if you've made it this far, then you have finally made it to the conversation about men. This video will be about men and how to use your Divine Feminine Energy with men. I didn't want my series to be about feminine energy and getting a man. I wanted my feminine energy series to be about us, about women, about how we find ourselves and live out our true purpose in life. My feminine energy series is about you defining who you are as a woman and embracing who you are, being aware of who you are. Now, we can't ignore the fact that we have these interactions with men. So I'm going to talk about men within this series, and this will be the only video out of the series where I talk about men and how we are supposed to coexist with them within our divine feminine energy. Divine feminine energy, it's more about us and understanding our power as women and just embracing who we truly are. Like, it's not about changing ourselves to get a man. It's being that woman that we need to be for ourselves so that we can be that woman for any man that we choose to be with. So that is what my series is truly about. The book that I was reading, it's titled A Man Leads, a Woman Follows, Everyone Wins. A lot of women are saying,
well, why would I want a man to lead me? These men aren't shit. They're not this, they're not that.
They're nothing that they want, right? You, as a woman, you have a choice. Every woman has that choice. You get to choose who you want to be with. You get to choose who you give your time to. Why are you in fear of allowing a man to lead you? Why are you in fear of letting go and just being feminine and being a woman? Why are you trying to do what men do? Why are you trying to dismiss them before you even give them a chance? The most important thing out of this entire video about men, you choose who leads you. A man doesn't make that choice for you. You get to decide who leads you. This entire series is about making decisions and choices for yourself. Only you can do that. So if you're unhappy with your relationship, your marriage, that is a choice that you made. And you also have the choice to leave, or you have the choice to change your situation. It's not something that you have to be stuck in. Once again, that is the power of embracing your divine feminine energy. You realize the power that you have, and that as a woman, you have a choice. You get to decide. Allowing a man to lead you is power in itself. Why is it power in itself? Because you get to go out here in the world and you get to date around and you get to basically choose who you want to be with. Out of this book, A Man Leads, a Woman Follows, Everyone Wins, the chapter that I really want to pinpoint on is chapter 6, and it's called Her Manual. Let me put a disclaimer in here. I don't agree with everything out of this book. I read this book with an open mind. I was trying to find out what I wanted to utilize and out of this book and what I did not want to utilize. So everything in here is not factual. Everything in here isn't something that I necessarily would do. There were some things that I left out of this chapter because I didn't necessarily agree with it. I felt like it was kind of old school or too old school for me. But that's the luxury of your life and you taking control of your life and living your life to your standards. It's your lifestyle. You may not even agree with the list that I have here, but you get to choose what you want for yourself. Once again, back to choices. You get to choose what you want for yourself. Out of this chapter, she talks about do not emasculate your man. What does it mean to emasculate? It means to make someone weak or less effective. Example, belittling, to be mean, to be insensitive, to be evil, give evil looks, lack appreciation, like showing lack of appreciation. And a lot of people like to center that around girl power. This is why, and I've said this so many times on this channel, I'm not a feminist, because I feel like feminists look at men like they are the enemy, and men are not the enemy. Men are, we're partners. We're not going up against each other. I for sure ain't going up against no man, because I'm not a man. I can't fight a man. I will never be able to fight a man. I'm not physically capable to do that. So to make a man an enemy, or to make men the enemy, that's just not smart to do as a woman. When you understand the feminine energy that you carry, there's no need for you to go head to head with a man. And I feel like that's what feminists do. Like, they literally try to compete with them on their level, when honestly you don't have to compete with them on that level. Like, you weren't created to do that. Your power is different and it lies differently. I got this quote out of the book. It says, "No pain is greater than the pain inflicted on a man by the woman whom he loves." It's a fact. Emasculation lowers a man's testosterone level. Side effects of lowering a man's testosterone level: sperm count. If you're trying to have a baby with this man and you giving him a hard time, you know, you belittling him, you're mean to him, you give him evil looks, you talk down to him, you're not going to get pregnant, because it lowers their sperm count. Sex drive, what the hell is that? They don't have a sex drive. It also affects their work performance and physical strength. Like, they feel weak. So things to avoid doing so that you aren't emasculating the man that you want to be with or that you're with. You shouldn't dominate your man. Like, you should not over dominate unless it makes sense. You know, I could see you being dominant sexually, but at the end of the day, you got to learn how to take the back seat. Like, you got to learn how to allow him to lead in certain situations and not always try to tell him what to do. Also, do not boss your man around. Why are you doing that, girl? I've noticed this with my mom. Whenever she wants my dad to do something, she does it in a very particular type of way. She comes across like it's concerning her, or she makes it come across like it's helpful to him in some way. She uses this womanly thing, I don't even know what it's called. She uses this thing where she makes it believable that somehow it will benefit him. Even though it benefits her mostly, she somehow makes it look to where to him it benefits him as well. Never belittle your man. A lot of this stuff really falls under respect, and if these are things that you can't do with the current man that you're with, or if these are things that you can't do with the current prospects that you have in your life, you need to take some accountability and ask yourself, what the hell are you doing entertaining men who don't deserve this level of respect? Never compare your man. Would you want somebody to compare you? Would you want your man comparing you to another woman? A lot of this stuff can go both ways, y'all. Let's not compare. Let's try to understand how men want to be treated. Never undermine him, meaning never make him feel useless. Who wants to feel useless? Especially in a relationship. Don't be a user. So please don't be using your feminine energy to use men. Like, would you want someone to do that to you? Would you want someone doing that to you? I mean, a lot of these things can be applied with treat others how you would want to be treated. So, would you want somebody using you? I wouldn't want to be used. Always smile. This is something that you should be doing for yourself. It isn't something that really needs to be tied down to a man, but I'm sure your man would love to see you smile from time to time. So, always smile. Show affection. Like, kiss, touch your man. I mean, make him feel loved. It doesn't necessarily have to be kissing. Like, you can rub on his head, rub his feet, rub his hands, I don't know, rub his arm, I don't know. Whatever you're into, this is something that I'm working on. Show affection. Have and enjoy sex as much as him. Like, it shouldn't just be sex, shouldn't just be something that he's always wanting to do. It should be mutual. It should be 50-50. Ooh, this is another one. Keep the home. Keep the home just means keep a clean house. I I can't stand a dirty female. Honestly, like, that is the most masculine thing I have ever seen, is girls who live dirty. Now, we can sit here and we can argue back and forth about how men are dirty and how they don't pick up after themselves, but as a woman, your home is a reflection of who you are. So if you are living dirty with him, you just as dirty as him. So it don't make no sense. I don't believe in living dirty. I don't care if I made the mess or not. I'm not living like that because I wasn't raised like that. I am not a dirty female. I don't care. I don't care if there's a ring on this finger or not. I'm not a dirty female. So if you walking around and your house is dirty, and there's a huge difference between deep cleaning and organizing. And I don't think some of you females know the difference. Deep cleaning is when you use bleach, Pine Sol, Ajax, cleaning products. Happily give your man space and time away from you. I feel like in every relationship, there just needs to be that space. I personally, if I see myself in a relationship, I know I'm gonna need that one thing that I can do by myself. Whether it's just for an hour. Like, I go get my nails done, I go get my hair done, I go get a facial or something where it's just me and I'm alone and I'm by myself, and I can recharge as an individual so that when I go back to my relationship, I'm strong enough as an individual to deal with things with this other person. But everyone needs to have that one thing they can go off and do where it's just them and it's like their alone time. They can recharge as an individual. Another one that was on here was send lots of pictures. Now, it didn't say send nudes. That's not what it said. It said send lots of pictures. Men are visual creatures. We talked about this. So you can send them like pictures throughout the day of like food. You can take pictures of yourself. It just really depends on what you're doing. Like, maybe you made something, you can take pictures of that and send it to them. But just do it in a way where they respond. It's not something that you're just doing just to get no response. Like, make sure he's responding back to what you send him. And let your man pursue you. If you are pursuing him, that's not your man. Okay, that's somebody else's man. Men are supposed to pursue women. Just use your feminine energy. He'll come. You'll be surprised who'll be coming knocking at your door when you use your feminine energy. If you use your feminine energy correctly, you wouldn't have to run down a man or chase a man. Like, he would come to you. Also, look good for your man. First and foremost, you should always look good for yourself. You can look good for your man on occasions. Like, I get what they're saying. A few times out of the month, you know, maybe wear his favorite color or wear your hair the way that he likes it, or, you know, like, make him feel special by going out of your way to look good for him. You need to also have that foundation of looking good for yourself. It shouldn't always just be, let me look cute for him. You should have that foundation where you look cute and you look good and you feel good for yourself. We talked about this in part 1 and part 2. So make sure you have that foundation of looking good for yourself. Then when you get a man, a few times out of the month, you know, wear his favorite color, wear your hair how he likes. Next, you should always encourage him, uplift him. You don't know what he faces when he leaves the house. It's just always good to encourage and uplift him at all times. It should always go both ways. But like I said, all the things that I listed are pretty much things that I would do for me, or that I would want done to me in return. It's not something that is just one-sided. So today's video was about men and how we as women should treat men. So this pretty much completes part 3. The next video will be about scents. I'm really excited because I get to pick out my perfume. Please comment down below, what are some things out of the book that you learned? If you read the book A Man Leads, a Woman Follows, Everyone Wins. When I was two-stepping, the book popped up in my head. A man leads, a woman follows. This guy, his name is Ronnie O. So he was teaching me how to two-step, and when I was learning, he was teaching me, I had to follow his lead, and I had to match his rhythm. I had to match his footwork, and I also had to match his pace, like how fast he was going. And once I matched everything that he was doing, footwork, pace, rhythm, I was two-stepping. I was dancing, you guys. So when it comes to this whole a man leads, a woman follows, everyone wins, when I was two-stepping, I noticed how that kind of correlated with what I was learning recently. It was almost like making love without it being any type of penetration or anything like that. Like, it was just all about body movements and like two bodies coming together and working together. It was like, it was different. I liked it. I'm gonna do it again. I actually had fun. So comment down below. I want to read what you guys have learned so far out of this series. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.